Hello, this is Jennifer, and I'm with Cleaning Conversations with JeniMaid, real talk with a pro cleaner. The question of the day is why professional cleaners are often undervalued. Well, I have had that for many years. I'm 61. I've been cleaning since I was 15. You do the math. There's been a lot of disrespect in the industry. I think mostly, in my opinion, now all this is just my opinion, there's too many people in the marketplace that profess to be cleaners. So if you say you're a professional cleaner, they just act like you're one of them, the gig worker, the side hustle. That's the most aggravating thing because I have a lot and many other professional cleaners have a lot to offer and they're getting devalued. They feel they have to underprice because if you go in there and you say, okay, you got a 1,500 square foot home, that'll be $150 every other week. The potential client's jaw drops to the ground. Okay, how can you charge that much? And the favorite I love is how long are you going to stay? So then they can calculate what you're going to charge per hour. Okay, this happens more than not. Then they don't take into consideration that you have to pay for your taxes, your licensing, your gas, I hear this all the time on other TikTok videos. I mean, I don't want to get too involved, but it is true. They don't take into consideration, they expect you to take this money as a bulk, that this is your paycheck, which it's not. You only get a portion of that, and then pay all your stuff out of it. I mean, your business has to make money. And those who are charging $20 an hour or less, or just I've seen people do houses for $50 for a house. They're under the table. They're not paying taxes. They're not insured. There's no professionalism in the industry. Another thing is because the owner cleans their home, they think it's not that bad. Okay, well, they're not doing the deep cleaning that a professional would. They're not catching all the dirt. Like when I walk in, as long as I've been doing it, I, for instance, can see where the dirt is, where they're missing it, where they're telling me it's a quick wipe. No. And I usually will pre-screen clients now because I do not want to waste my time. I'm to the age now where I've been in the industry a long time, and I feel that I have value. And I believe that anybody who is a pro cleaner has value. And we more or less educate ourselves. That's what makes us professional. Not only the experience, but you educate yourself in PPE. You make sure you have those little surgical boots on, your gloves, your mask, your glasses, safety glasses, because you don't want to get that chemicals in your eye. Over time, those chemicals in your eyes, you spray things around, can actually cause you to lose have eye problems later on. Okay. I didn't know that when I started out. There's a lot of toxic cleaners. Everything that your hands touch, if you don't have gloves on, your hands are like sponges. Your hands and your skin, it's like a sponge, and it will definitely absorb all the toxins. That goes into your bloodstream, okay? And that's another subject I want to touch on is you should be taking care of your body. Your body is your biggest asset. If you don't have your body is not in good shape, you aren't cleaning, honey. And you're going to be sick all the time. Your immune system will be affected. I do yoga every day to keep flexible, to keep healthy. And anyways, but anyways, getting back to this subject, I don't want to get too far off, but I have people who don't respect my process. They don't understand systems. They don't understand any of that because they're used to dealing with the gig worker, the one that comes in, looks around, spits out a price, and then goes and, either uses the cleaning customer's products and equipment, though the only thing I do is a vacuum. I've never had anybody, I've never provided anybody a vacuum because I don't want to traipse all this dirt from house to house. Okay, if the dog from one house has fleas because it was untreated, you're going to give your next customer fleas, or your vacuum may smell like a dog, and you're passing that on to, why I've cleaned the house. I mean, they're paying you for a fresh, clean home, environmentally safe home, and you've just contaminated again. So another thing this is another thing, sickness. If your client is sick, a lot of the times they won't tell you. And then until you hear them coughing in the other room, because they think, oh, well, we're going to hide in our bedroom. I've gone through that too. And that's disrespect, because you're giving, those germs are not just confined to that bedroom just because they're hiding in there. They have 9 times out of 10 walked around the homes, their home, and contaminated their home. So those are just examples of disrespect, okay? But the truth is, anyone can clean a house. A professional protects it. That's our job, is to make it environmentally safe, healthy, by following certain procedures. The average, under the table house cleaner doesn't know those procedures, and they can cross-contaminate. So, this is pretty much what I wanted to talk about. But respect follows authority, not availability. There's too many people just available. Did you ever go on social media and somebody goes, oh, I need a recommendation, like Nextdoor is a good one, for a good house cleaner, and then 5 million people go, oh, me. That's oversaturation. Okay, because they're hurting. Those people they need, their schedule's full. There's just not like 2 cleaners on the planet. I mean, there's thousands of them. People opening up house cleaning companies every single day. So I know this is a lot to grab, but this is why we're undervalued, because there's so much out there. We're like, I've been called a dime a dozen, even though I'm not. That's what they consider you to be, because they've been brainwashed to believe that every cleaner's the same, you just, the same procedure. Well, that's not true. Professional cleaners have a system. They have checklists. They have, they have walkthroughs. They have their pre-screening. I have my own system that I copyrighted and trademarked because it's unique. And most pro cleaners do have a unique system of their own. I just happen to protect mine because I noticed in my 40 years of what works and what doesn't. But not to brag, but I probably used every vacuum around, every cleaning product, Echo and traditional. So, I mean, as long as I've been cleaning, I've been, it's like, do it all for you, Dolly. But anyways, okay. That cuts it for a cleaning conversation. I can talk all night about this subject. I just wish that whoever's listening, who is maybe considering hiring a cleaner, we'll just close with this thought, that any homeowner who is seeing me on the air and is thinking about hiring a cleaner, just respect the profession. This takes skill. If you're hiring a pro, and just because it's a franchise doesn't mean they're professional. Okay, let's face it. They get people off the street. They need to mass produce, and, well, not mass produce, but I mean, they need to keep a massive amount of cleaning customers. So, and then they rotate their crews, more of the crews that they get, the members say, hey, they're making a lot of money. I'm going to go out on my own. That's another thing they do. But anyways, okay, in closing, just know that, just respect the cleaners out there. They work hard. I know I do it myself. I wouldn't talk about it if I wasn't doing it myself. But just, hear them out and make your choice, an educated decision. At least call up 2 or 3. And if they're not pre-screening you, if they're not doing, pre-qualifying you to do a walkthrough and all these other things, then they're not really serious. If they just call, make an appointment and just spit out a figure when they get, look around, give you a quick figure and say, oh, it's going to be this much, they don't know what they're doing, because that's not how you do it. You have to actually assess things, and, it's a process. So anyways, that's it for Cleaning Conversations with JeniMaid. Tune in YouTube Monday nights at 6 o'clock, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.